this post that said, are you a girl that cries or do you cheat back? And it literally sparked this time where I did something that some people might call so diabolical and insidious that I've literally been suppressing this memory and been taking it to the grave. And because I don't want anybody to judge me,
Not judging you.
because one, I'm a 33-year-old woman.
We do not care.
This happened 10 years ago, literally 10 years ago.
That's a long story.
I was 23 when this happened.
And?
So I was one, young, and two, I was hurt. Young and hurt does not equal logic. I didn't have like the emotional capacity I am. Like, I'm not that type of person. I'm very much love and light at this day. So I was like, oh, I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm gonna just like tell the story, and if I decide to post it, I post it.
Tell the story. Tell the story.
So off the rip, she's going on and saying that all of this stuff that she did is because she was young-minded. All right, y'all. We all was 23 before. So look, before she even got in the story, here come the excuses. But here's the thing. I was young. I was 23 years old. Well, here's a list of things you can do at 23. You can buy a car. You can buy a house. You can adopt a child. You can gamble. You can get a passport. You can fly around the world. You can get a pilot license. You can do all kind of things. You can get a concealed weapons permit. You could do all kind of things. But you draw the line that using logic and being a good person and acting with morals. I feel you.
So picture it, 10 years ago, I'm 23. I had just graduated college and I was deciding on if I was going to go to grad school or law school, or if I was going to go into the military because I wanted my student loans to be paid off. So I'm like just working and living in my life in my apartment or whatever on my own. And at the time, I had just broke up with this guy, and then I started seeing this other guy, and I thought everything was going cool. Like, we have our problems like most people, but like I thought everything was cool, or so I thought. Me and my man, what we really like bonded over is that we both had like parental kind of issues. Like, we both had estranged fathers, and we always like talked about it and kind of like bond on that as well. He was always talking about like his father was trying to get back in his life and things like that, and I was like, you know, if you had the opportunity, you should like try to do that, because I wish I had that opportunity.
All right, look, I don't know about y'all, but I picked up on two things. First of all, they're trauma bonding, and the second thing is she's rebounding. She had just got out of a relationship, a toxic relationship with the last guy, and now she's in one, and you know, foreshadowing, we know he's gonna be just as toxic. So this is a bad recipe off the rip. All right, now y'all know I gotta go into my typical misogynist talking points. Listen, women with daddy issues, dog, is always a no-go. I promise you that, bro. For the most part, women with daddy issues. Now, you dudes with daddy issues be bad too. Y'all walking around doing all kind of crazy stuff because of the absence of your father. But as far as dating goes, a woman who didn't have a positive role model in her life, or he wasn't that guy in her life, bro, I'm telling you right now, it's always almost gonna end in disaster for the most part, bro.
So one day, fast on a random day, I'm like on Facebook, I get a message for a message request or a thing, and it's just this girl like, yeah, me and your man been seeing each other.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
There, and like got set on your man's face, and I'm like, what the heck, like what is going on, or whatever. I'm like blindsided. She's sending me the text messages, she's showing me like proof, like photos of them together. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is like for real. What am I gonna do?
Beat her.
Like, I'm blindsided at this point. So I decided to sit on this information because I'm like, I don't know how to handle this. Plus, I had just like had something similar like in my last relationship, but my ex had cheated on me with a girl, and the same thing, a girl wrote me on Facebook. So I'm like, why am I attracting this type of energy? But anyways, so I'm ducking and dodging my man. I'm ignoring his calls. I'm not answering his text messages. He's trying to like see me. I'm like, I'm busy, yada yada yada.
All right, guys, you got to use common sense with this one, dog. She 23 years old. The ex cheated on her. The new guy cheating on her. She's not an ugly girl. She's fairly attractive, man. You know, when they 23, the typical guys that they go after, especially she's a nurse, bro. Come on, bro. I don't know who these dudes are, but man, grown-ass men can already tell you, bro. She probably messing with these little Pookies and Ray Rays, or if they're not Pookies and Ray Rays, they Chads and Tyrones, aka the fuck boys, the niggas that got hella girls on their rosters. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about, bro. And it's not that you're attracting that type of dude. Well, I guess it is, but my point is this: when you're attracted to the guys who are in the top 20% of men, the ones who are going around slinging and slaying all of the girls in the neighborhood, those are the dudes that's gonna cheat on you for sure, for sure.
Fast forward, I have a friend who was low-key sprinkle before sprinkle was a sprinkling thing, and she like older men, so she was like, let me take you out, and I'm like, I don't know, like I don't like that type of thing. And she was like, girl, you need a distraction. I'm like, you're absolutely right. So she takes me out and we go to like a little wet ski bourbon cigar type of bar. We are in Kentucky, so like that's the thing. i.e., that's what old men are. So we in there, we at the bar. Some men she had been seeing was up in there. I'm sipping my little whiskey drink or whatever, my little whiskey sour, and I'm at the bar. A man comes up, he sits down. He had to be like maybe, and he had to be in his 40s. Well, yeah, he was in his 40s or whatever. Black man, he looked nice for an older man or whatever. He's just talking can I sit here, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, sure. So then he was like, oh, what are you drinking? I'm like, I'm drinking a whiskey sour. And he was like, oh, do you want another one? And I'm like, sure. You know what I'm saying? So he I don't even know why at this bar, he pulls out his ID because it was carding him, which I'm like, this is an old man bar. So what? Clearly all these people's of age, but I get it or whatever. So I see his ID and I'm like, oh, you're from out of town? And he was like, yeah, I'm actually here for family. And I'm like, oh, that's cool or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I'm actually here to see my son. I'm not thinking nothing of it. And then he was like, oh, you might know him. You said you went to U of L. And I'm like, it is a big university. I'm pretty sure I don't know him. He shows me a picture. My heart sinks. It's my man.
How you doing?
It's my man. This man is a father that I've been trying to tell him to try to give this man a chance because he's been trying to talk to him and get back in his life. I've been telling him.
All right, now look, this was the fork in the road where a morally sound person who has a fully operational moral compass would have said, oh, that's the guy that I'm dating right now. Now the father knows what he's up against, and he ain't gonna be put in a compromising position for some woman to lie on him and say that he did this and he knew that I was your dad. And you get where I'm going with this. But let's see what she does. Let's see what she does, man.
So I sat there, and all of this, when I say all of this happened in a split second, my mind, okay, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop talking to this man? Because clearly this man is showing some type of interest in me. For whatever reason, we know what it is or whatever. Thinking about how this girl told me that she literally drug her coochie across my man's face.
Beat her.
So I had to see it through. And then I gave myself an ultimatum. My friend was getting kind of drunk. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna take her home. So I was like, if he tries to see me after this, then sure. If he don't, because the time has passed or whatever, it is what it is. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna see you, whatever. I'm gonna have to drop my friend off. He's like, can I get your number? And I'm like, sure, or whatever. Not thinking he's gonna actually try to see me. So I'm taking my friend home or whatever. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? I don't want the night to end. Are you gonna be up? Blah 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 blah, I want to see you. And I'm like, sure. He comes and gets me because it was I think Uber maybe had been a thing, but I wasn't getting in it and I wasn't paying no damn taxi. I was like, yeah, I don't really feel like driving. He's like, I'll come and get you. And it got me across the bridge, and then we went back to the city. So we're hanging out or whatever, and then whoop de whoop de whoop.
All right, so look, we got a young woman who's 23 years old in the nursing profession. She just found out that her man had another woman's coochie sliding up and down his forehead and things of that nature. And she just said that she was drinking at a cigar lounge with an older gentleman who was flying suave, who also just happens to be the father of the guy who did her dirty. And she's a very vindictive woman. And she just said, whoop de whoop whoop. Fast forward next day. Come on, guys, use your context clues. Let's not be obtuse. If you don't know what that word is, Amazon got dictionaries for sale for as little as $8. That means he clapped her cheeks, man. The deed is done.
Fast forward to the next day, I go home. My man pulls up on me. Pulls up at my apartment. Do. Open the door. What you doing? Where have you been? You haven't been around or whatever. You dodging me. What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just I've been going through some things. I'm really busy. Yada, 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 yada. And I'm trying to keep it because I still don't know how I'm going to handle this situation. I still don't know what I'm going to do. So then he's what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. I don't want to talk about it or whatever. Deflect and change the situation. What's up with you? Oh, my father's in town. I'm in my mind, I know. He's my father's in town, apparently him and his mama had been texting, and now his mama was out here getting roller sets because she thinking she about to get her man back. Talking about I just wish that we could all go back to being a family. I wish we could go back to being a family. Dinner. The daddy is texting me at the dinner. The dad's texting me at the dinner.
Wow, that didn't go as planned.
Why he's with my man. I don't know what these chatty Cathy's start talking about. Probably oh yeah, I came to the city and I was messing with some young girl, blah 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 blah. The end of that dinner, I'm getting a call. Bitch, blah 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 blah. How could you? Blah 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 blah. What are you doing? You're breaking up my family. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm breaking up your family. Your family was already broken up. What are you talking about? How could you? You out here messing with my daddy? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, I guess we're even.
Shit hitting the fan now, that ripple effect happening. But guess what, man? She don't give a damn. Let's be real. As long as she get out of it unscathed, she don't care about that family being ruined. She got back at the dude that had the coochie sliding up and down his face. She happy right now, as far as she concerned. Guys, y'all gotta understand, bro. Listen, some of these women will burn the entire world down in order to get back at your ass.
While you was out here letting some bald-headed bitch with no edges with eczema slide her coochie across your face.
Shit, they got serious, man.
You got a problem with me? You want to talk about that? Well, I guess we're even. No, we ain't never gonna be even. Blah, 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 blah. I never want to see you. I don't ever want to see you again either. The kicker, the daddy was still trying to text me and see me while he was in town. I scared myself, like, coming up with the plan and executing it as flawlessly as I did. Whenever you guys say, like, are you a crier? Are you a cheater backer? That's not me anymore. I don't do that. I just, like, leave. But 23-year-old Tiara was going for the jugular. But yeah, that's my story.
That's a big story.
Hey, listen, fellas, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, bro. To all the dudes that ever cheated on their girl and got caught and things of that nature, bro, what you think that girl doing all this time to keep her sanity, knowing you had coochie sliding up and down your forehead, bro? You think she sleep well at night knowing that you did that to her? She gonna want some get back eventually, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Especially if you a serial cheater, you always getting caught, bro. This the type of shit they do. I'm telling you, I ain't gonna say all of them do it, but a lot of them do it. A lot of them do it. Especially if she forgive your ass, she might have already been cheating because now it's a clean slate. It's even. 2 negatives make a positive. Say, bro, this was crazy to me, man. And it doesn't surprise me. I've talked to a lot of women. I've seen a lot of TikToks. This right here, this normal. Real talk.